Here's the Honda. I didn't get too far on that, but it's half blocked. Came out pretty decent. Broke through in one spot on the fender, but just gonna have to seal that up and go with it. Single stage, it'll be alright. But tonight we're doing some Volkswagen stuff, some valve job stuff, so I figured I'd turn the camera on. And yeah, building another 1600 here, so I had to come up with some cylinder heads. We got a brand new crank here. This is a cast piece. You can buy these from Rocky Mountain Motor Works. You can see the line's very thin. And a forged crank. Has a fat casting line. Here's a factory Volkswagen unit here. Oh. This sound's ground down, but you can see how wide it is. Yeah, much wider. This is a German one, regrind. Got a couple of those. A couple of motors. Got one for 1776 there, and that's just for whatever. But anyway, this one came in, and I don't use the cast cranks too often, but this is for you know, just a regular 1600. So we're gonna go with that and use it up. Got one of the cylinder heads here done already. Go to the intake seats and the exhaust seats. We're going to do a 3-angle valve job. Got my high-tech head bench here, so I get you guys all set up. And yeah, so not a lot's been going on. I got a video made of the Bronco, and I haven't been doing a whole lot because sometimes it's better not to do much. That's how it's been lately. So I figured I would get some parts together and do them over. That's easy work for me. And, we're going to wash the crank. Don't get nervous. We're grinding heads next to a crankshaft. I just had to work on this. It didn't. The pulley wouldn't fit on the crank when it came in, so I had to redo that and fit it, and I got all that done. Now I need to wash that. Got my transmission all together over here. Assemble that into the case. The side plate cleaned up. I'm gonna get sidetracked. Got some good Volkswagen stuff coming up. We'll do the exhaust first because that's what I did last on the other head. This is the pilot shaft. This is the pilot installer. And just push that baby in and twist it to tighten it, and then release it like so. We're gonna do a 70, a 30, and a 45. Now you could add a 60 in there if you need to move the 45 up, but this works out pretty good for what we're doing here. So we're going with this. So we're gonna do the get the stone off first. That's the hard part. But we're gonna do the 70 first, and that's blending the seat. This thing got tight from chattering, and I'm weak. There we go. Anyway, that's gonna blend the seat down into the port. The 30 is gonna make the transition from the 70 to the 30, and then the 45 is the surface that the valve will seat on. So first we're going to go with our 70. And basically this is, you know, giving it the funnel effect, so it's got good flow. That's the idea behind multi-angles. We've already put some dicum. That's the blue stuff there, the dye. So we can see what we're doing. Let me make sure this is recording. It's been a while since I pushed the record button. Yep, we're good to go. Oh yeah, see? We're just blending that down. Making the turn. Now you can get different kinds of stones. They make cutters now. New way cutter. You can do this by hand. And the new weight cutter has multiple angles built into it, so you only have to cut it one time. And it has the multiple angles. They have the performance cutters, and then they have the standard 45, 30s, and 60s, and 70s. And so anyway, there's our 70. I'm going to change this over. I need to get some more pilots. We're going to do our 30 next, and we'll finish off with the 45. That's how I like to do it. If I was doing a performance motor, you know, I could do a couple more angles. The nicer you make the seat, the better the head will flow. So here's our 30. You'll notice this is a much quieter stone. It's not doing as much work here. The 70s really, you know, it's turning the corner down there and giving you the flow. So here's our 30 one more time, then we'll switch to the 45. That's looking really nice. Alright, now we'll do a 45 and move on to the next hole. So anyway, hope everybody's doing good. Watching a couple videos, saw Anthony working on his car. It's all easy jeezy with a tranny. Looks like he's having fun. That's our 45. Transmissions can be very fun. I've got a pretty nice one that I'm doing. And took it down the scooter so I didn't make a video, but I got the gearbox assembled over here. Clean the case up. We'll do a little video on that. Alright, looking really good. I'll hit it one more time. There we go. Yeah, I've been feeling really good, so I just took the time and did a couple sets of heads. Some glass bead work. Sandblasted them anyway. And figured I'd build a set for this 1600. Got some really nice cores, so take advantage of that and make some heads. So again, we're going to start with the 70. I'll just have to take my word that that's what it is. Again, this one's doing most of the work. That's why it sounds rough. This is the performance part of the valve job. That's looking pretty good. Just want to make sure the head's straight, or the hole's straight anyway, too. Alright, enough of that nonsense. Every time they chatter like that, it makes the stone pretty tight. So anyway. Oh yeah, I got nice and tight, good and tight. Oh, I'm not going to get that one loose. Who doesn't know we're making a video? Yeah. That one's not coming loose. Not happening. If I can get this one loose, maybe we'll be back in business. Technical difficulties. Let me run and get some pliers. I wasn't counting on that. Edit. Commercial break, smoke a cigarette, whatever. Should have had the pliers over here. Yeah, I didn't have to get too far at least. I didn't leave you guys hanging. Too bad. Apologize. Beg my pardon. You're from Canada. Go get that one. Oh, good gosh, man. There we go. Get smoochy condensed. So that's obviously the 70 that we just did. Let's do the 30 next. Hopefully it doesn't get all tight like that. This one's much smoother. The old pilot shaft, little squirt here. I lost my cap. Does that surprise any of you guys? Oh yeah. The 30 and the 45 is a much finer stone. That's why it's a little quieter. A little quieter. That's looking pretty nice. I'll go with the 45 next. Oh, we got the pliers over here now. It's not going to get tight on us. Again, the 45 is our final seat. This is what we'll lap to. And the 45 is what the valve will actually sit on. The other two cuts are under the valve seat. That looks pretty nice, pretty nice. Now we'll go to the intakes. Of course, we have to use a bigger stone there. Pilot tool has disappeared on me. Hiding under the pliers. There we go. Go to the intake now. And I got those stones laid out. We already have 70 set up for the intakes. That seat's a little off to the side. That's why it's a good idea to grind the valve seats. You never know how much the seats move. It's moved towards the center of the head. But not too bad. We'll get it pulled back where it needs to be. Take this off. We're going to go to our 30. Whoa. My seat's really got some wear on it there. Hopefully it'll be okay. As soon as we lap the valves in, where we're at, go with the 45 next. That looks pretty good. Be okay. That one looks much better. Seat actually moves around on a Volkswagen. This is probably one that got hot and the valve wasn't closed when the motor cooled down. And lets that seat move around a little bit. Ready, 45. There we go. Take that pilot out. We'll clean these up. Some new exhaust valves tomorrow. We've got a couple from mock-up here that I use. But we'll get some 4 new ones. We'll reface some exhaust or intake valves. I'll have to clean the bench up for that, and then I'll show you how to lap them in, reassemble them, check the installed height, tip the valves, and assemble them in the head. We'll break it into a couple of videos so I don't bore you guys to death. Those are cats playing on the roof. Yeah. Sounds like they're playing football up there to me. I don't know. Whoa, that's a slider. You guys better take it easy up there. I don't have any Aflac for cats. Anyway, they're like a bunch of teenagers. They're just having a good old time up there. So there we go. They look really nice. Meow. There's that one. There's our other one over here. So we'll get those cleaned up, lap them in. Probably blow them off real good, lap them in, and then wash them. But I gotta get the valves tomorrow, parts run. So stuff like that. Got this tranny over here. It's all together, cleaned up, and all sexy. That's the pinion plate rubbing you're hearing. It gets pulled tight in the box. It's super smooth. Took it down the scooters, threw that in the jig. Doesn't have a diff. It's got a beefy diff. I was going to change this, and you can see where they added 2 more spider gears in there. So I'm just going to leave it like it was. Scooter said for a street car it'll be fine, and this way it'll break the diff first instead of the ring and pinion. That's what he says. So I'm going to go with that. There's our side plate. Got one heavy duty side plate on this one, and I got to clean the case up. The case has got some porosity on the outside, and yeah, so I got to polish that. Got a set of rods hiding back here for our 1600 build. Got some new bushings in them there, resized Volkswagen stuff, and I got to pick some bearings up for that. We got some main bearings here. We're going to use the Clemex. There's the bearings. I had to fit those. I got to get all cleaned. And I was going to say the end of this crank, it was really tight, so I had to clearance it a little bit and make the pulley fit. That was the problem when it came in. So And the other problem is that it was cast. The guy bought it for a bus, and I don't think it'd be a good choice for a bus. Probably good service and a bug, but apparently that's what the new Brazilian Beetles have, is the cast crank, the fuel injected ones with the cast rods. I've already used the cast rods and cycled them out, so they're gone. There's our case. Got it all cleaned up. Got it decked and cleaned the whole spigot hole up a little bit there. And yeah, so that should be ready to go. We'll get the heads built. We'll get the crank assembled, and we'll get it all laid out here and throw it together. I got the lifters soaking back there in the Earl. So yeah, so that's where we're at on that one. We'll throw this 1600 together. It's just a shelf motor to put on the shelf that I don't have anymore over there. I'll put it in a bag and put it in my bedroom or something for a spare. Or if somebody needs a motor. We got to take a flywheel out of the flywheel pile down there and have it resurfaced. And yeah, so I get that put together, and then nobody's bought this yet, so I guess I'm gonna have to take that apart and do that. I might do the 2110 next though. So I was gonna do a C35 in this one, but we're just gonna go stock because more people want a stock motor than, you know, something with a cam. Gonna try to use up some of this stuff, the Horde, try to get rid of some of these parts and make them into motors. So that's what's going on here. Worked on the convertible a little bit, little piddle work, and got to get this out of here too. And Scooter absolutely wants this one, so I'm gonna have to squirt this and take him that one. Got to get over to Knowles, and I got some compound finally for the Lily, but I haven't been able to buff anything in the last 2 or 3 days, so sort of in the recovery mode, I guess. I don't know if I'm gonna get better or not, so I'm just hanging out, waiting to see what happens. Doing light stuff, trying to keep my mind off things. But here we go. We'll get these together. We'll do all that stuff I talked about, and I gotta get this put back together and make it a unit. And probably just gonna leave the axles out of this and bag it up, and you know, just without the axles in it. So I wanted to show Easy Jeezy this. Let me see. I can't get it in the light. I don't know. That's reverse gear. It's about the best one I've ever seen. It's got absolutely no wear on it. I don't know if that was new or what, but real sweet. This is a close box. It says a close third and a close fourth, and they're welded, and it's a 412 ring and pinion, so should be pretty good. Both put this together for the dune buggy out back, Andrea's dune buggy. So I'm gonna throw a motor in that, a tranny, and try to make it run. And yeah, so she'll be happy because she's been wanting that dune buggy for a while. So anyway, that's what's going on here. Hope everybody's doing good. And yeah, I got some mail. I got to do a mail call video. And yeah, so I hope everybody's chilling. Saw Matt's video. Thanks, Matt. Glad everything worked out on your Nova. And that's a nice 57 you got there. But yeah, so you guys have a goody, as Pisser would say. And we'll catch you on the next one. Sorry this one was so long.